Welcome once again, friends, family, enemies, everybody. This is the world as we see it. I'm Baba Shaka, and I want to start off by thanking all of you who have been supporting us, who have been with us on this journey. Please, I hope you stay with us. For those of you who are new, who are seeing us for the first time, there's that red button right there. Go ahead and hit that button and join us on this journey. Okay.
Palestinian Authority president today accused the USA of being complicit in what it called Israeli genocide, ethnic cleansing and war crimes. But Israel, born itself from the horrors of genocide, still feels threatened by Hamas. How will history judge the death that rains from Gaza's skies? In Khan Yunis, where 15 members of the Rabi family were crushed in the rubble, the old, the young, taken out unmoving, body by body. Where Ahmed, age 3, wonders what crime he committed to lose his leg. In Rafah, where failure of the UN Security...
I'm not sure if I can call it a sad day, because what is taking place is nothing new. It wasn't something that was unexpected, but it's still tragic. And what I'm talking about is just a day ago, 2 days ago, there was a vote in the UN Security Council for calling for an immediate humanitarian ceasefire in the Gaza Strip. The rest of the world voted for a ceasefire. And there was only one member of the Security Council who voted no. And that was the United States. But here's the tragedy. The fact that the United States alone can determine which way the UN goes is itself a monstrous thing. It is the epitome of something that is non-democratic. The United States and the West, who push this whole democracy thing, we need democracy all over the world, are sitting in a body that is so undemocratic that one country can veto the will of the rest of the world. Okay, so we have 5 permanent members of the UN Security Council. We have the United States, we have England, we have France, we have Russia, and we have China. The United States voted no. And I'm going to play the video for you with the United States representative explain why. Oh my God. Same poop, different toilet. They've been singing the same song for years. England abstained. They didn't vote no and they didn't vote yes, but they abstained. So we're not going to vote. The rest of the Security Council, there are 15 members, but 5 permanent members. So the rest of the Security Council voted for the humanitarian ceasefire. But you know, for those people, both in the United States and outside the United States, who are still holding on to this view of the United States of America as being the light on the hill, the beacon on the hill, you know, that place that champions democracy and fair play and justice, they're starting to wake up. They're starting to see the United States for what it really is. A lapdog of the Israeli state. It appears that Prime Minister Netanyahu of Israel has more power in Washington, D.C., on Capitol Hill, than President Joe Biden. It's either that or President Joe Biden just doesn't care. He doesn't care how many Gazans are killed, how many babies are killed. We're talking almost 2,000 people have been killed so far. More than 8,000, almost 9,000 children have been killed. Now, are these children Hamas? Are these children terrorists? No, they're children. Joe Biden will come out, and not just Joe Biden. I mean, he's just the president now, but it doesn't matter who's the president. And it doesn't matter which party they belong to. They belong to the Red Gang, or the blue gang,
which are both the same.
they're all the same. It's two wings of the same bird when it comes to kowtowing to the Zionist state of Israel. So we have people calling for, and listen to the term, humanitarian ceasefire. And they're saying no to a humanitarian ceasefire, right? Let us know what you think about it. Is the United States justified in this? Because what it shows clearly is that the United States is isolated. We hear terms being thrown at other countries like Iran and countries like North Korea and so on, being described as rogue states. But the reality points that the United States is the true rogue state. When the rest of the world is saying, let's be humane. Let's be humane. And the United States stands alone and saying, no, being humane is not the way to go. Then who is the rogue state? Who exactly is the rogue state? Who is the leader of the rogue state? A man that can barely keep his eyes open. But it doesn't matter. Today is Biden, tomorrow is going to be somebody else. And they're all bowing down to Israel. Did you know, and you can go check this, don't take my word for it, go and do your own research. But the majority of the members of Congress, both in the House and the Senate, many of them have dual citizenship. They're citizens of the United States and citizens of Israel. Now, how did they become citizens of Israel? They weren't born there. Some of them probably never even visited there. But they're citizens of Israel. And so it seems as though they're representing Israel's interests more so than the interests of the people of the United States. Because when you think about the fact that many Americans have no health care, many people are struggling under the burden of student debt. There's no money to take care of that. There's no money to get the homeless off the street and in homes. There's no money for that. But there's always money for Israel. Even in the midst of an inhumane and indiscriminate genocidal action that Israel is carrying out, there's money for Israel. Then exactly who are these people representing? Think about that for a moment. I'm going to play the clip of the American representative saying his piece. And like I said before, same poop, different toilet. Until next time.
The international community must do everything possible to end their ordeal. The eyes of the world and the eyes of history are watching.
We do not support calls for an immediate ceasefire. This would only plant the seeds for the next war, because Hamas has no desire to see a durable peace.
This war is part of the assault to end the Palestinian people as a nation and to destroy the question of Palestine. If you do not share this objective, you must stand against the war.
Following the atrocities of October 7th, Israel committed itself to the elimination of Hamas's capabilities for the sole reason of ensuring that such horrors could never be repeated again. And if Hamas is not destroyed, such horrors will be repeated.
We are all aware that Israel began its military operations in response to the brutal terror attacks unleashed by Hamas and other Palestinian armed groups on 7 October. I unreservedly condemn those attacks, and I'm appalled by the reports of sexual violence. There is no possible justification for deliberately...
Kwaheri. Assalamu alaikum.